Hi, my name is Kelly, and thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to be playing Gloomhaven, the digital version that I have on Steam. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I have already played this. According to Steam, I've played it for about 42 hours. So not a ton, but enough that I kind of know what I'm doing. I've only played the board game once, actually, and I haven't gotten out since then. But I've been playing Gloomhaven since it was in early release, and I've been playing the Guildmaster mode, which is kind of like sandbox, just different quests that you can do depending on what character you have. It unlocks the different characters. The campaign mode is the actual mode campaign from the board game itself. I have not played that one, but today I'm going to be doing just a Guildmaster. So let's go ahead and click in this one, and let's continue. Now, as I said, I've already been playing this, so these are my normal characters. Yeah, so Scoundrel's at level 5. I think I'll keep her. And then we have the Brute at level 6 and the Spellweaver at level 7. So I think that's a good mix of characters to have. I am going to keep it at 3. My current party level is at 3. And then I currently have 146 gold to use, which... So I don't really have a lot of good stuff to buy currently, so I've been saving my money up. But I actually might use it maybe to upgrade some cards one of these times. Go with the cards. Okay, so let's find something to attack. Let's do the Restless Spirits job. So a community has contacted us after villagers have been terrified by ghosts haunting the outlying farms. Objective, kill all enemies in all rooms. Sounds straightforward enough. So, let's say we're going to have a forest imp, which has an innate shield and they fly. So you wouldn't be able to push them into traps or anything, since they would just fly over the traps. And then we have the Forest Imp Elite, so 6 health. Same number of shields though, innate shields, so that's good. But as you can see, 6 health versus the 2 health for the regular Forest Imp, so a little bit harder to kill. And then we have a Living Spirit. Let's see, 2 health, also flying, and this has 2 shields for their innates. And then a Living Spirit Elite, so 3 health. Also fly, and shields of 3. So if I win though, I'll get a minor stamina potion, 15 gold, and 5 XP. So looks like a good one. Now sometimes when you travel you have encounters. So there's city encounters and then road encounters. So encounter. The path leads you to a ravine with a rickety old rope bridge as the only way across as far as you can see. The ropes look very worn and the wooden planks rather rotten, but looking for another way across looks like it could take some time. So I can either cross the rope bridge or I can try to find another way across. So with the encounters, they could be good, could be bad. Sometimes you get gold, sometimes you get XP. You might get maybe like a curse if you do something bad or something bad happens, or you could get blessed. So I haven't encountered this one before, so I do not know. I'm going to go ahead and cross the rope bridge. This seems like a bad idea. Okay. The rope bridge creaks and sways precariously under your weight with each step. You nearly make it across when suddenly one of the planks snaps and you fall from the bridge. You just managed to catch one of the ropes that held the plank before you would fall into the ravine, but a small pouch of gold flies from your belt and disappears into the darkness below. You pull yourself up and cautiously make it the rest of the way to the other side. You breathe a sigh of relief after such a close call and continue with your journey. I've lost some gold. Although normally it would pop up right there and would tell you how much gold you've lost, or what you've gained, but it didn't for some reason. So after meeting some terrified local villagers, you head towards a section of forest where they say the ghostly sightings are more prevalent. You notice that the area sits upon an ancient inox graveyard, and certainly you can feel some kind of static energy in the air. Night falls as you are investigating further, and then you notice strange lights and eerie laughter. Imps. Alright, so they do have the battle goals, just like they have in the board game. So basically you have you choose one of two of the battle goals, and basically it's some type of objective that you have to achieve during this encounter attack. And if you do, you get the rewards listed. So for the Brute, who's more of an aggressive player character, objective: use your equipped items a number of times equal to or greater than your level +2 during the scenario. That's the professional, and I get 3 XP. Or for the pacifist, kill 3 or fewer monsters during the scenario. Also get 3 XP. Well, as I just mentioned, he's more of an attack, so I don't know if I want to say kill 3 or fewer monsters, because that sounds like a bad idea, especially for the Brute. I also don't have a lot of items, and I'm not going to use them equal to my level, which is level 6, +2. Unless it goes with the party level, that I'm not sure. But either way, so my items, I have a minor healing potion and a minor stamina potion, and that's it. So those are terrible battle goals. I'll just say kill 3 or fewer. Who knows? Maybe something will happen. Now the Scoundrel, also more of an attack, but as you can tell from the name, more sneaky, I guess you could say. Can move in the game itself. You have characters that can, or cards that can move either really early, kind of middle of the road, and then later and very late. And the Scoundrel has a lot of cards that can move very early, so she can get her attacks in first before a lot of the enemies that can. So her battle goals are Streamliner. Objective: have 5 or more total cards in your hand and discard at the end of the scenario. Get 3 XP. Or Purist: use no items during the scenario and get 6 XP. Let's check out her items. So she has a minor stamina potion, super healing potion, and a major power potion. I could certainly see not using one of those, or any of them. The other battle goal: have 5 or more total cards in your hand and discard at the end of the scenario. So basically, don't rest a lot, so go as long as you can without resting, but sooner or later you're going to have to, just to get your cards back. Every time you rest, depending on how you got your rest, you then discard a card. You can either choose your card or not choose your card. Sometimes it's a random card, depending on if you took a short rest or a long rest. And also there are certain abilities on the cards that can be used only once during the combat. So in that case, it's basically a burned card. So if it's a burned card, you automatically lose it, and it does not go into your discard pile. So if I use a lot of the burn cards, then she wouldn't have a lot. So let's see if I can show you an example. So you see on this smoke bomb, this invisible. If I use the invisible, it's a burn card. So like I said, it won't go into the discard pile after usage, but rather the burned pile, from which cards cannot be recovered by resting, but can by certain recover abilities. So for instance, Spellweaver has a ton of burned cards, but she also has a card that can bring all of her burned cards back into her hand. So it's pretty rare. Usually once a card's burned, it's burned. Let's see how many burned cards she has. So she's got 2, 3, 4, and let's see. You know what, I'm going to say the use no items. Get me 6 XP. Okay, in Spellweaver, much more of a, I don't want to say defensive player. She does have some really good attacks, but she can be very weak. So she's definitely one that cannot be like the front runner. She needs to be kind of the support. And she needs to kind of some protection sometimes. So she does have a card that can, avoid damage. And, but she also has some really good attack cards. So I really like Spellweaver as a character. So her battle goals are Zealot. Objective, have 3 or fewer total cards in your hand and discard at the end of the scenario. Now, that actually makes more sense for her because I said she has a lot of burn cards. And so while she has a card that can get all the burn cards back, that card is a burned card. So when she uses it, that's it. That actually would make more sense, but she would have to get pretty low to have 3 or fewer. Or Executioner, kill an undamaged monster with a single attack action during the scenario. They both give 3 XP. Her attacks are not the strongest necessarily, so she may only do 2, 3, maybe 4 damage, but she can hit multiple targets. I don't think she's going to do that, so let's do the have 3 or few total cards in your hand, so we'll do the Zealot. Alright, let's go ahead and enter dungeon. Okay. So the merchant, imps, those nasty little blighters who steal your washing and enchant your cat to do its business under your armchair. The trainer, I don't think that's the imp's fault. Alright. So, let's see, scroll out a little bit. Let's see how many rooms we have. So we have this first room, we have a second room, and a third room. And we kind of know it's going to be slightly longer. The hexes that are kind of highlighted in that white color are the starting spaces. So the characters can start in any of those spaces. So like Spellweaver, she probably doesn't want to be in the front. So I'll probably put her in the back and then put Scoundrel and the Brute closer to the front. You can see their hit points. So the Brute has 20, and then Spellweaver has 12, and Scoundrel has 14. And then you can see what we're going up against. So, looks like we have a living spirit. We have 2 living spirits. We have an elite, which you can see by the kind of that pointy star on the outside of their hit points. We have a forest imp elite, and then just a regular forest imp. And you can kind of see, so when I highlight, it'll show you in red, it'll highlight basically enemies, it'll also highlight traps. So this is a trap that does 4 damage if you go over it. Now, sometimes you can pull or push your enemies over traps, and it can cause damage to them. Unfortunately, all of these characters are flying, or all of the enemies are flying, so it's not going to do any damage. So it's pointless to even worry about the trap. So let's see, I'm going to put the Brute closer to the front. Let's get the Spellweaver in the back, and Scoundrel. Now we want to end up over here to the door. Let's start there for right now. Okay, so just a quick overview. So you can see the Scoundrel. It'll tell you what, when you attack, you pull a card from the attack modifier deck, and it'll kind of tell you either you completely whiff the attack, so 0 damage, or I have 2 cards in there that will lower my damage by -1. I have multiple cards that will just, it won't modify the attack at all, one way or the other. I also have multiple cards that will add a +1. And then there's one card that does the 2 times the damage, so those are always in there. So every character and every enemy has a null and a 2 times damage. Now, if those get pulled, you have to reshuffle your deck. So if you're really unlucky, you could pull something twice in a row that you don't want to. And then these are the items. The armor that she's wearing, she doesn't have any type of boots. Boots will give you stronger or a better movement. She does have a poison dagger, nothing for her hands. And then these are her other items that she has. So you can see she's a level 5. She's at 257 XP out of 275. So once she gets to that 275 or above, she would level up. So when you draw your cards, every card at the top has an attack, and at the bottom is a movement. If you don't want to use the attack or the top or the bottom action, you can use just a regular basic attack. So every character has a basic attack of 2 and a movement of 2. Those are the defaults. So if you don't want to use this bottom one for some reason, you can just use this. And again, if you don't want to use the top part of the card, you can just use a regular attack. Now, it's possible that for some reason, maybe you have a range and you don't want the range, so you can do just a regular attack. It might be a burn card that you don't want to burn it, so you don't want to use the ability, so you can just use the default. And then you can see what the initiative value is for the card. So again, the lower the initiative value, the sooner you're going to go. So if you need to get an attack done right away, go as quick as you can. If you maybe want to wait and see what happens, you know someone might move, you need them to move, you can't move close enough to attack them, you might want to go a little bit later. And then of course you have to balance it between what all of the characters are doing. So maybe there's a card that if a character is standing right next to you, you can get a bonus, which the Scoundrel does have cards like that. What do I want to do? So just real quick, so you can see what the attack is. This is how far the range for the attack, and then how many targets. So this one's going to target 3 different enemies, which is cool. And then this will give you an XP, 1 XP if I use it. So Duelist Advance is kind of cool because there's a move on the top, which is rare. There's not a lot of cards across the different characters that I've come across anyway so far that have a move at the top. Movement is pretty important in this game. You have to be careful you don't use all of your cards that have the high movements and maybe burn them or something, because then you're kind of just chugging along at just 2 hexes. And so like I showed, there's 3 different rooms here that you have to get through. So just something to remember as well. Doesn't have to heal. Don't need to poison. I kind of like this, but the problem is the shields. So with the shields, so if I do like an attack 2 on, let's say this character right here, this living spirit, they only have 2 hit points, but they have 2 shields. So you can kind of think of it as like 4 hit points in the beginning. You have to get through the 2 shields before you can even do any damage. So if I do an attack of 2, it's basically like bouncing off of them because it's going to get through the 2 shields, and then that's it. There are some cards that have Pierce on it, and Pierce will ignore any of shields that are on the enemy, and it'll just directly hit them. And she does not have anything, I don't think. with Pierce. But now to get across, there has to be an open path, which there are not currently any open paths. So unless I have a movement or something that can jump over an obstacle, I'm kind of stuck here until I get some of these guys killed. Because if I could jump, I could go through here, get through there, and then kind of move around. You can't move through enemies, you can't jump over enemies, so you can only jump over obstacles or like traps, something like that. And if you jump over a trap, it won't trigger the trap. So for who I have, this is not starting out well. And you don't know what the enemy's doing, so you're kind of choosing cards based on what you want to do and what you think the enemies might be doing, but you don't have any idea what they're doing until after your cards are chosen, so makes it a little more complicated. That's not going to do much good. Oh, so the brute does have a pierce, so you can see right here. So it allows up to X points of a target shield bonus to be ignored for the attack. So he has a pierce 2. So he would be able to get through 2 of the Living Spirit Elite shields, so he just have to deal with the 1. Or if he attacked this character here, the Imp Elite, he could get through her 1 shield and do straight damage. I actually kind of like that one. But I think I might do an attack for shield 1. I could attack her. Imp. Now what? That's not range, so I need to move. I'm just going to go ahead and do that and use it for just the default movement. Okay, so the brute's been decided. Let's go back to the scoundrel. So the scoundrel could attack these 2. So you can see on this card, attack is normally 3, but I can add +2 attack and gain 1 XP when the target is adjacent to any of your allies. So the brute is going to move up here. So at that point would be adjacent to one of my allies. But that card is a 4, and the brute's not moving till 17. So if I wanted to use that one, I would have to do a little bit later in the initiative. And as I mentioned, she has a lot of early, very early and early cards. So 1, 2, 3. Let's use her Flurry of Blades and a special mixture. And then for her, I'm going to use one, two, three. 1, 2, 3. So I'd actually have to move the Spellweaver up 1. Actually, let's do Scoundrel over here, Spellweaver over there, and that would put me within 2. So let's do Fire Orbs, but how early do I want to go? I'm going to go ahead and use my Frost Armor. It's one I use for her a lot in the beginning. She doesn't have to move because she's within range of all of the ones she wants to attack. But on the next 2 sources of damage to you, suffer no damage instead. So that is a good one. And then Fire. Okay. Sorry, that took a while. Got to get it all straightened out. It should go quicker now. Okay, so the Forest Imp Elite has an initiative 24. They're gonna strengthen, which will affect all enemies within range 2. They're gonna muddle, which target all enemies within range 2. So we are all within range 2 of her. So we will all be muddled. The Forest Imp is gonna strengthen and muddle, so they're gonna do the exact same thing. So basically that's kind of good in ours. Since they're doing the exact same thing, you can only get strengthened once and you can only get muddled once. So basically it's one of them is not doing anything this turn. The Living Spirit Elite is going to move 4 and then curse, which is going to target all enemies within range. They're also going to use the element of ice. And then the Living Spirit Regular is going to move 3 and then curse. So actually, I think you might be able to get cursed more than once. So we'll see. Alright, so Scoundrel's going to go. So you can see I'm at initiative 3, Brute's at 17, Spellweaver's at 20, the Imps are at 24, and then the Living Spirits are at 55. So I'm going to attack for 2, range of 3. So when I select it, it will highlight all of the spaces that are within the range of 2, or range of 3. And then I get to target 3, and it will show in red the enemies that I can target. And then it'll also kind of show you, if the attack is successful with the 2, I would basically do 1 damage to this imp back here. I would get 1 damage. My attack would bounce off of this Spirit Elite. And then the Living Spirit, it would also bounce off. Now, I'm still going to target this one because I do have the +1s and +2s. So it is possible that even though currently my attack is not going to hit them, I could draw a good card and it would attack them. So we're going to attack those 3, and then you can see in the bright red, those are the enemies I have targeted. Now, my battle goal for the Scoundrel is Purist, so use no items during the scenario, and so this would be an item that I could use. So during my attack, I could add +2 attack to your entire attack action with my major power potion. With these Living Spirit Elites, I might do that at some point. I'm not going to right now, but I probably am going to have to use that. So I can either clear my targets, confirm my targets, or skip my attack. I'm going to confirm. Cool, so I killed 1. I did the 1 damage. And then I did draw my +1, so I did do 1 damage to the spirit, so that's good. So you can see once they die, they leave a pile of gold, and so each gold pile is going to be worth 3. And then down here you can also see it basically tells you. So I attacked the Forest Imp for 2. I drew a +1 attack modifier, so I dealt 2 damage. So 2 plus the 1 minus the 1 shield equals 2 damage, and so it killed the Forest Imp. So it does tell you down here. Okay, and then I'm going to move. Well, I can still only move 2. Yeah, let's go ahead and move her. We'll move her here. And then confirm the movement. And then I do have an extra movement point. I'm not going to do anything because I'm going to have the Brute go here. Yeah. So I'm going to skip my last movement point. So again, if I have any items, I could use them at this point. I'm going to try and hold off as much as possible, but we'll see. Okay, so I wanted to use that one. Attack of 4. I'm going to use my 2 movement points. I'm going to use 1 to get over here. and skip my second, and I'm going to attack for 4, and then I'm going to shield myself for 1. So we want to attack this Forest Imp Elite. Confirm my target. Okay, so I did 4 damage because again, or I'm sorry, 3 damage because again, my attack was for 4 and she had 1 shield. So that did 3 damage. Okay, and then because I'm going to shield, even though it's myself, I still have to confirm that I want to do this. So confirm. Alright, so let's end the Brute's turn. Now the Spellweaver. For this particular one, it doesn't matter which order she's going to do it in. Let's just do this. Sometimes it will, sometimes the characters may attack back. If you hit them and you're standing next to them, can't remember what the word is right now, but they do have an ability where they can basically hit you back if you hit them. So in that case, maybe I want to do this first, or maybe I not, because maybe I want to get hit for 1, and then I know they're going to attack me for like 5, and so I don't want to waste my first source of damage on the 1. So, but in this case, it doesn't make any difference, so I'm just going to select it. Now it is, remember, a burned card. And we'll also infuse the ice element. So confirm the target. Okay. Now it is creating the ice element. So I won't be able to use it. Like, let's say I had a thing here that it would increase my attack if I used an ice element to increase my attack. I wouldn't be able to use it right now because it's still creating it. So, and then I'm going to do my attack of 3 at range 4, and I'm going to target 3 enemies, and I gain 1 XP for each enemy targeted, and then it will infuse the fire element. So I'm going to do the 3, and it attacks them in the order that you click them. I don't think it really matters. I mean, you know, maybe like if I got a ×2 for this first one, I'd be a little bummed because it would have been nice to have it for the bigger guy, but I mean, there's no way for me to know, so it's just basically luck of which one you click first. Okay, so there are some items that I could use. Ooh, I forgot, she has the shield bow, the piercing bow. So during your ranged attack, ignore all shield values for the entire attack action. That's actually really helpful in this scenario, so I'm probably going to use it at some point. I'm going to hold off though. I might save it if I have like multiple Living Spirit Elites, because that is a huge amount of shields to get through. And then I also have a minor power potion, which would, during your attack, add +1 attack to your entire attack action. But I'm not going to do that, so I'm just going to confirm. So I got +2, nice. And kill the Living Spirit. Okay. Great. That's good. Alright, let's go ahead. More. I have a Cloak of Invisibility, a Moon Earring, and then a minor stamina potion. I'm not going to use any of them, so let's go ahead and end her turn. So now the ice elements are correct, or the elements are created. Okay, so it can curse me multiple times, it looks like. Alright, so I have just the 2 spirits left. I do have a clear path, though, to get through, which is nice. So I'm starting with the Brute. Let's see. I mean, this one might be good. I could attack 2, then move, and then attack again, but it has 2 shields. Let's see what I have. I do have a lot of +1s. I also have a couple of Pierce, which is nice. If I get lucky when I'm attacking like a Living Spirit Elite, that would really come in handy. Let's see, what else do I have? Kill one adjacent normal enemy. I don't need to do that right now. Attack 3, range 3. So now with these range ones, so if I attack someone with a ranged card and they're standing next to me, I actually have what's called disadvantage because it's supposed to be a range attack and they're not far away from me. So I have what's called disadvantage, and so when I draw my attack modifier cards, I actually have to draw 2 cards and take the worst of the 2 cards. So usually you don't want to use a range card if they're standing next to you, unless you can maybe move your 2 movement or whatever movement first, and then you could use your attack card. Then there's also an advantage keyword, which does the opposite. So you can again draw 2 cards, and then you take actually the more positive of the 2 cards. I could attack for 3. That would at least hopefully do 1. Now the Brute also has a cool item card, which is called a Reaping Sight. Instead of attacking just one single character, it attacks in that row, and it shows you how it would attack. So basically, with that pattern, it would attack this one, this hex, and this hex. Obviously, Scoundrel's not my enemy, so it's not going to actually attack the Scoundrel. But if I was able to move in a certain direction and I could get the enemies in that, attack pattern, it actually increases my attack. But I won't be able to get them into that pattern. So I like that attack Pierce one. Hopefully one of my characters can move ahead. Now, if one of my characters does move towards the door and opens the door, which you kind of want to do as soon as possible because you don't want to run out of cards. On the other hand, just when you open the door, the enemies in that next room basically activate, and so they would also do whatever the attack card is that was drawn in the previous one. If there's a new enemy in there, it would draw an attack modifier card or an attack card, and then it would show you what their card is that they're going to do for that turn or what their action is. And even if the enemy has already gone, so let's say I had a Forest Imp and they've already taken their turn, I open that door and there's a new Forest Imp in there. Even though their turn has already passed, the Forest Imp would get to go after my character was done. So unfortunately, it doesn't, like, oh, if I wait until all the enemies are done, I can open it and then no one will attack, and that's not true. So, let's see, if I use the Spellweaver, she has a move of 8 card, which I kind of like using. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The nice thing is, if I open the door, I can use my Cloak of Invisibility. So during my turn, I gain invisible. I'm going to go ahead and do it. The rate we're going, let's just go crazy. And let's go ahead and use my Mana Bolt. Actually, no, let's use my Forked Beam. So it can attack for 2, range 3, and 2 targets. Yeah, let's do that one. And my move 8. For Scoundrel is when the target is adjacent to any of my allies, so that's not going to work. So this one I can add +2 attack and gain 1 XP when the target is adjacent. Nope. when the target is adjacent to none of its allies, so I can get 2 attack and gain. So that would give me 5 attack, which should be enough to take out this Living Spirit Elite. So I'm going to do that. And if that succeeds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm going to do the Venom Shiv, move 5. And then the Brute is going to attack this Living Spirit. Let's go ahead and I want to save that trample for an elite just in case, although I mean I gotta kill this guy sooner or later. You know, let's play this skirmishing maneuver. Maybe we'll get lucky and hit a couple of times with a +1. And if that works, I want to maybe move here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's move 4. Yeah. If you land on a gold pile and end your turn there, that's when you get to pick it up, so you can't just move through it or, you know. Okay, let's see. Living Spirit Elite has a 33, so they are going after us. So move 4, attack 2, range 4, target all enemies within range. So that would be a nasty one if he's still alive at the end of this. And move the regular Living Spirit is going to move 3, attack 1, range 3, target all enemies within range. And this little symbol down here means once this card is drawn, you shuffle the deck. So if you're lucky, you can get it multiple times in a row. Okay. Scoundrel's going to go. We are going to use this one. We're going to get an extra attack because he's not adjacent to any of his enemies. Let's go ahead and confirm. Cool. So again. And then I get a move 5. So we are definitely opening the door. And they are going to move for an attack 2. So you can see we have a Living Spirit Elite, a regular Living Spirit. Oh, there it is. A Forest Imp and then a Elite Forest Imp. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So no matter what, they can reach me. So I might as well just get out of the door. Okay. Spellweaver. Go ahead and move her 8. She can go. She needs to range 3 attack. Okay. One, 2, 3. Only targets 2. That's the little Forest Imps. They're gonna move 3, attack for 2, and curse. Move 3, attack 2. Okay, so we got some attacks coming in. Let's put her there. And because there's multiple attacks, I'm going to go ahead and go invisible. Okay, and let's go ahead and attack. So we're going to attack the 2 and confirm target. Good, so I killed the one imp, and I did do 1 damage on the living spirit. So let's end her turn. The brute. Let's go ahead and attack. Let's move there. And let's attack this one again. Awesome. Cool. So that card also got me a shield. Unfortunately, I'm not going to pick up any of the gold. I don't want to hang back too far since he's a pretty good attack. So he does have, so I have a move 4. I could move an extra 2 with my boots of striding. So during your movement, add +2 move to a single movement. I'm actually not going to do that. I'm just going to stop. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the living spirit's not going to move, or the elite's not going to move. The living spirit is. You know what? Yeah. This is going to hurt a little bit because of the attack, but he's got a lot of hit points. Okay. Again, it attacks all enemies within range. So the brute was. What happened with the brute? So it didn't do any damage because of my shield. We'll go ahead. So what I could do, whenever you get damage, you have 3 options. 1, you can receive the damage, and you can see it'll tell you how much damage, and then it'll show you up here. So it's going to damage me 2. So instead of 12, I'll be down to 10. If for some reason I didn't want to receive the damage, or I couldn't because it would kill me, or they kind of call it exhaust, so you're not really dead. I could burn 1 available card. So again, if I burn a card, I'm not able to use it. But it's something I might need to do. If I don't have a card to burn, or I don't want to burn an available card, I could always burn 2 cards that are discarded. So basically, you either don't want to get damaged or you want to be able to heal yourself. So he drew his ×2. So we'll go ahead and receive the damage. And it's going to cause 3 damage. Yeah, we'll go ahead and receive it. Okay. Oh. And actually something I just noticed is this, it will actually take it off to show you what the damage would be. So if I receive 1 damage, I would be down to 18 hit points. I'm currently at 19, so. But I'm going to go ahead and receive the damage. Okay, and next turn. Let's see. Now the brute does have that trample, which will pierce. So if I move 1, 2. Now if I move 2, that's actually going to block the scoundrel from being able to get up close to hit anyone. So do I have a card that has range? So I do have this card that has range. It's attack of 3. So I might need to do that. Now this one attacks 3, but it attacks 2 characters or 2 enemies, as long as they're lined up in that pattern. So if I stand right here, it would line up into that pattern. Again, it's an attack of 3. I could get lucky. Currently, it would bounce off this guy. I could also actually attack these two. Okay. Let's see what the Scoundrel has left. So Scoundrel really has... She's got one range attack, but that's a burn card. Now, again, this is rare to have an attack on the bottom. Usually it's always movement or something like that. But it is a burn card again. But it is a very powerful attack. Okay, let's see what Spellweaver has. This will show you cards that are currently in play. So the Frost Armor is in play because I'm using this one. So on the next 2 sources of damage to you, suffer no damage instead. Now once I suffer the 2 damage, it's going to burn the card. Attack 3, range 3. Oh, okay, so this is an attack 3. So it's normally an attack 2. I purchased an upgrade enhancement, so it's +1. So it's a total of 3 attack, range 3. And then this one is if I consume any element, then it actually adds 1 attack and it gives me an XP point. Sometimes you have to use specific elements, but this specific icon is any element. So actually that's really good. I could have an attack 4. So actually I think I might use that, and because it's a range attack, I'm not going to use it on this guy. I'm actually going to use it on those 2. Let's go ahead and use this one, and we'll just use it for regular move. Oh, actually I could use it as a heal. I was going to say I could just use it as regular movement and then just skip my movement, and then it basically wouldn't do anything, but actually I have two friends that could use some healing, so. Okay, so since she doesn't have really any good range cards, we're going to get her up here. So she needs at least a move 3. Oh, this one actually would give me a move 3 and then an attack 3. Is that what I want? I could do this one and attack this guy. Alright, let's go ahead and use... this smoke bomb's kind of cool. If I go invisible on my next attack, while invisible, double the value of the attack. So if I know I need to set up maybe for my next round a really powerful attack, that could be helpful. Again, it's a burn card though, so go ahead and use that one. And I could go invisible, just something to do. And then he's not going to be able to move, so 1, 2, 3. So I need at least something that has a range 3. Definitely want to do that one. Let's go ahead and use this card, just in case. It's a move with jump. No jump. This one's got the jump. Yeah, let's go ahead and use that one. Well, if something gets killed, I would be able to move. If not, I can't use it anyway. Alright, so Living Spirit Elite. So they're all going after me. Move 4, attack 3, range 4. Move 3, attack 2, range 3. Move 2, attack 3, range 3, and curse. Again. Okay, so Spellweaver is going to go first. Let's go ahead and attack. And we do want to consume that element. And I want to use my piercing bow. So I'm at 4 attack right now. You know what? Let's do it. So you can see it cuts through the shields. Okay. And just 1. Who do I want to attack? I've already forgotten what my other peeps are doing. Okay, let's go ahead and attack this one. Heal. You can also heal yourself in a card like this, even though it doesn't say self, but I didn't need to be healed at all. Okay, so she is going to move 3, and what's the brute? Also an attack 3. Let's go ahead and attack this guy. Okay. Oh, and I had disadvantage. I don't know why I had disadvantage though. Oh, well, I was gonna say maybe my curse. Oh, I see. Haha. It was a rolling attack card, so that it was a +1, but then I have this little arrow thing, which means draw another card. And so, of course, I drew my null card. So that did not help me at all. You know, I'm not going to go invisible, but let's go ahead and move and maybe just pick up some gold. Let's go ahead here. Okay, and the brute is going to attack. Which one do I want to attack? Attack 2. I want to... You know what, let's attack this one instead. Clear my target. We're going to attack this one. Yeah. Okay. So we got that one killed, which is good. One less attack I have to deal with this turn. And let's go ahead and move 3. We'll just get there and get some gold. I could push her. Now, because she has a move 2, and her attack is range, so that she doesn't get disadvantage, she is going to move if possible. So even if I were to push her or something, it basically is just helping her out. So I'm actually not going to do... I'm going to skip the push. Doesn't make any difference one way or the other in this case. Okay, so 2 damage. And a curse. Of course. Okay. Who's going to kill that one? One of them is gonna have to attack 4, range 3, immobilize. So you can see with Spellweaver, she's got 2 cards left. So she can play these 2 cards before she has to take either a long rest or a short rest. Now, something to keep in mind is even though I have 2 cards, maybe I want to go ahead and do like a rest because they're so far down that I would go very late. And that might be a bad thing. So I have an 80 and a 96, so I'm probably going to go after everybody else, including the enemy. Now, if I did a long rest, that's basically an initiative of 99, so you would go after everybody. The only good thing about, well, there's a couple good things about a long rest. You heal yourself for 2, which is good. And you can burn a discarded card, but you choose which card you want to burn. If you do a short rest, you don't get healed. It doesn't use a turn, so I could do a short rest and then choose my 2 cards and then be part of this round. But the card that is burned, it's still only 1 card, but it's chosen automatically. If I don't want to burn that specific card, I could choose a different card, but then I take 1 damage. But if there's 1 specific card in there, so if for some reason I had used, you know, like my 1 card that was to recover all of my burned cards, and that was the card it was trying to burn, I would say nope. and then choose a different card, I take the damage. So sometimes it's worth it to take the damage so that you don't lose a specific card. I'm going to come back to her. And the Brute, you know, I'm going to go ahead and use this Devastating Hack. It's an automatic attack of 8. I get 3 XP. It is a burned card, but we're doing pretty good. We do have one room after this, so let's go ahead and use that one. And I do have to move. Let's go ahead and use the 10. Yeah. Okay. And Scoundrel, we're going to push ahead. Attack. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll get her to open the door. Let's do it. And I don't think she has. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go invisible. Now, if I didn't, so let's say I used the 4 and the 12. If I didn't want the 4 to be my initiative for some reason, I could unselect it, and then it would select, I could select the 12. So even though there's a 4, I don't have to use that one. I could use either of the 2 initiatives, but it has to be chosen right now. So if I wanted the Brute to go first, for some reason, I don't think it matters too much. I'll go first. And then her, she can move 4, and then I can attack. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not going to get her very far. Let's. These aren't good cards for her. Go ahead and short rest. And that is the card I wanted. I don't really want to lose this one because I can. I got this so I can recover up to 2 of my burn cards. I would be fine losing this Mana Bolt, but that's not the one I got. Let's burn that one. Okay. So I'm going to do the reviving ether. And okay, let's recover 2 of my burn cards, and then that will burn that card. So low initiatives. The Forest Imp's going to go before me at 42, before the Spellweaver. Move 4, heal 2. So actually this one's perfect. There's nothing for her to heal, unless I were to do damage to somebody in the other room. But that would move her that way. And hopefully she'll be dead by then. Okay, Scoundrel. Let's do it. Open the door. Alright, what do we have in here? Got a pile of gold. We have... There we go. We have a Forest Imp, a regular one. A Forest Imp Elite, who's also going to move 4, heal 2. And a regular... another Elite. And then we have 2 Elite... living spirits, and they are going to move 4, attack 2, range 4, target all enemies within range. So I'll go ahead and go invisible. Let's confirm. So again, this will kind of block it, so nobody will move. So just pretend like the door is still closed. Okay, and we need to move there so we can pick up the gold at least. You can move through your fellow characters. You just can't move through enemies. So yeah, he's not going to block. And then we'll do an attack of 8. Is that targeting her? I think so. We will find out. Yeah, it is. Alright, cool. We killed her. And we are going to end his turn. He might actually get his pacifist. Okay, these guys are going to move. But they won't attack me because they don't see me. Okay. And she's going to move 4. Let's move her over here. And she's going to recover 2 of her cards. 2 cards I want to recover. I can actually recover that pork beans. I definitely want my fire orbs. And let's do that. Move 8. Do I want the pork bean? No. Okay. Alright. So, now the brute has 2 cards left. They're not great cards. 1, 2, 3. So, I'm going to go ahead and short rest. I think we're doing good. So, here's where if I wanted to, I could redraw and do take 1 damage. But I do not. I'm okay with burning that one. You might just be hanging out in the back for a little bit. So he moves here. Let's say 1, 2, 3. I do have a 3. And now there are also some weird rules about line of sight with attacking. I think basically if any part of your hex, you can draw a straight line to another hex. They have line of sight. Very confusing. I don't quite understand it, so I'm not going to explain it. It's even better though with the digital. It does it all for me automatically. Yeah, he's not going to be able to attack at all, so let's just get rid of a card that we know we don't want to use. I need to move 3, and he can go late. Something's going on. Yeah, let's do 32 and 54. And for her, we are going to do some burn cards, so let's move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's move the 8 again. And let's do the fire orbs. The scoundrel is going to have to short rest. I'm fine burning that one. And attack 2, range 3. Attack 3, move 3, attack 3. 1. And we gotta move 1. And there's an obstacle right here, so there's actually no way around, so gotta go through the imps. So, +2 attack to all of your attacks this round. Oh, and then not to forget, my smoke bomb double the value of my attack. So, that's actually good to remember. So if I were to do that one, what else would I want to do for a bottom ability? I could go invisible again. That actually might be good. This one's an attack 4, which would give me an attack 8, range 3, target 2. Actually, That might be a good one. Okay, so if I do the hidden daggers, I need a movement card. And going a little bit late, so we will see what happens. Oh, I still go before the enemies though. So they're attacking, the forest imps are attacking as well, and the living spirit elites. And then the elites are going to move and curse. Okay, so Brute. He doesn't have anything good. So let's move. Nothing to attack, so let's skip the attack. Scoundrel is going to now do I want to kill one of the elite? I'm gonna get rid of one of these. I only selected one. Okay, so that's the bad thing about the digital, is unfortunately I only selected one and it was 2 targets, so I totally screwed up on that one. And I can't undo. I can restart the round. Yeah, let's go ahead and restart the round. We'll make it quick though. We knew what we were selecting. That was just dumb. So. Alright. It repeats everything, so it's all the same stuff. With the same cards drawn and the same cards that if you do a short rest, it burns the same cards, so all that's the same. Alright, let's try this one more time without screwing this one up. And we're going to skip the attack, end his turn, and that might be angle, okay. And she is going to attack. Yeah, I'll just attack those two. Let's kill those two. And let's move 3. And we'll go there. Pick up some gold. Actually, we'll go here because there's 6 gold there. And poison. Poison. Enemies add +1 attack to all of their attacks against a poison character. A heal ability will cure poison but have no other effect. So, confirm the target. Okay, and Scoundrel's turn. Pick up 6 gold. Receive the damage. Now they're just cursing, so that's good. I mean, you know, not good that they're cursing me, but... Okay, and Spellweaver is going to move. Now she can move anywhere. Let's go ahead and get her. So we want range 4 at least. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put her there. Okay. And let's target these 3. And we'll add +1 since we're getting close to the end. No damage on that one. And kill that one. Perfect. So one more round and we should be good. So let's end the Spellweaver's turn. Yeah. Got a lot of elements. Elements are there for 2 rounds. So right now they're basically half, and then the next one they'll be gone. So all right. Oh, and then obviously the round that they're created. So Spellweaver was last, so it was basically a null. But if Spellweaver was first, and then everybody after Spellweaver would be able to use one of the elements, and then after that round is done, they go to the half, which is where we're at now, and then after this one, they're done. They disappear. You know, he might just go get some gold if possible, but I don't think he's got enough movement. Now, I do have one that's a move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would get me that gold. So if I do that one, let's go ahead and do an attack. Okay. And Spellweaver. Let's see if we can get anything good. Let's do those two. And Scoundrel. And now we also can look at, you know, what's going to get us some XP since we're on the last round. Can we get some gold? She does have a loot 1. She could loot. Brute's already going to get that one, but we could get that one. Move 3 and attack. Yeah, that's fine. Move 4, attack 3. We got this. So Spellweaver is going to summon an avatar. It'll get me 2 XP, plus the avatars are pretty cool. So avatars don't do anything in this round, but in the next round they would go right before my turn. So, okay, let's put him there. Get 2 XP. And let's go ahead and attack. We'll infuse. Doesn't matter what we infuse with. Let's go with air. And let's attack. Okay. So that's an immobilize. So basically it means they can't move at all. And turn. And she is going to move 3. Sure. I don't. Yeah, they're both 3. Confirm. Skip. Attack. Very good. And that's just a pile of 3 gold. So, and don't need to do anything here. So let's get movement and pick up some gold. And then Brute is going to move. And that's it. We'll just do that. Skip attack. Shield. Why not? And end. And that's it. We won. And picked up some gold. Alright, so victory. With the last imp dead, the spirits return to the earth and the dead rest again. So this is kind of just showing you your stats. So how many enemies you killed, damage you've done, damage taken, gold piles looted. These don't really do anything. It just shows as a record as far as I know. It doesn't affect anything at all. The Brute earned 5 XP, the Scoundrel earned 6, and the Spellweaver earned 11, so that's cool. We also did the Pacifist goal, so the battle goal Brute did. kill 3 or fewer monsters during the scenario. Scoundrel did use an item, so did not get her battle goal. And then Spellweaver got her battle goal, the Zealot. Have 3 or fewer total cards in your hand and discard at the end of the scenario. We also did a kind of like another goal. There's other goals that you can fulfill. So we did the Air Mastery, where we consumed 15 air elements. And then here's some of the other ones that we did. So killed some living spirits, added to the implosion, and then also inflicted poison. Let's go ahead and return to map and see what we got. Okay, so quest is complete. We got a minor stamina potion that we can buy. We got 15 goals, and everybody got 5 XP in addition to the XP that they earned. All right. So you can see Brute moved up, still level 6. Scoundrel is closer to leveling up, and Spellweaver is got a little bit of a ways to go. And that's it. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully I can post another one of these soon. I do really like the Gloomhaven digital. They did a great job with this game. It's fantastic, and I love it. So hopefully I'll do a couple more playthroughs for you guys. If you've liked what you've seen, please like my video, give me a comment, let me know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe if you're interested in receiving notification when I post a new video. So thank you, and bye.
You didn't record any of it?